Namaste friends, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Today the topic is about Manglik Yog. Now, first of all, you have to understand what is Manglik Yog, why Mars has been chosen to form this kind of yog, because you know Mars is a planet. There could have been any other planet, but specifically Mangal is defined for this special yog. Mangal forms this yog. We will go a deep dive into this concept of Manglik Yog in the horoscope, and stay till the end of the video because this is a unique video. I am trying to explain you in more technical language why Mangal Yog is present, what is the effect of the Mangal Yog, good or bad, and what are the remedies for that, what it actually will do to you if you have one. You have to also understand that Mars, being the planet of energy, is the planet that drives your blood circulation. So definitely Mars is more significant than you can even imagine. So this is something very, very important. So guys, stay tuned till the end of the video. But before that, do like and subscribe my channel, and do not forget to hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I will upload another video. Also do share these videos of my channel, browse my channel and share the videos among friends and family and spread the awareness of astrology. First of all, understand why Mars is important. Mars is energy, Mars is your blood, Mars is decision-making capacity, Mars is the power to fight, it is the willpower, it is the courage. So Mars is actually very important because Mars defines how you are, how much survival capacity you have in this world, which is very much important. Otherwise, your existence will not be possible without Mars. Second thing, Mars is actually your first house and 8th house lord in the Kal Purush, Aries and Scorpio. So Mars basically rules life and death. And if a planet who is ruling life and death is placed at a certain position in your horoscope, definitely it is going to hold some importance. Now, why do we connect Manglik Yog to marriage? The 7th house of the Kal Purush is Libra. We know marriage is considered from the 7th house. So, the 7th from 7th house, the Bhavat Bhavam of 7th house is Aries, which is ruled by Mars. We all know that 2nd house is said to be the collective gain of that house. So, like 8th house is the 2nd from 7th. 8th house is also the house of in-laws. 8th house is the collection of marriage. What are you going to collect from marriage ultimately? That is also ruled by Mars because that is also ruled by Scorpio. So Mars actually controls the 2nd from 7th and the 7th from 7th. So Mars basically controls the Markesh of the 7th house. And because Mars controls the Markesh of the 7th house and it controls the life and death force of that horoscope itself, therefore Mars is considered to be extremely crucial when there is a role play of Mars in marriage, and that is why the ancestral Rishi and Rishi Munis have decided to put a specific information about this yog in the ancient books. Mars is causing Manglik Yog, but the widespread hoax of Manglik Yog and the widespread fear is a false phenomena. Why this fear is false? Because Mars cannot kill you just like that. What Mars can do is, Mars can amplify your aggressive nature, Mars can give you excessive willpower to fight, Mars can make you a person who is susceptible to fights and who will be quarrelsome, and who will try to create a situation in the society that you will fall into trouble. Not only you will create trouble for yourself, you will create trouble for somebody else. But again, this will only happen if Mars is malefic in that house, and if Mars is aspected or placed by malefic and the entire nature of the planet in the horoscope has gone negative. If Mars is positive, this is never going to happen. Now, coming to the main topic. Why so much fear? Now, when the horoscope is said to be Manglik, when Mars is placed in the first house, fourth house, seventh house, eighth house, and the 12th house, then you are said to be Manglik, theoretically. We will analyze a couple of things here. The word Manglik means auspicious. So if you have Manglik Yog, you have an auspicious Yog. This is the first question you should ask. Yog means formation. So it is saying Manglik Yog literally means auspicious formation. Why are you then worried about that? This is the first thing. The second thing is, out of 5 houses, out of 12 houses in the zodiac, if Mars is placed in 5 houses, that is 1, 4, 7, 8 and 12, Manglik Yog is formed. That means if I divide the entire population of the world by 12, 5/12 of the entire world population has a probability of being Manglik. And if according to the hoax and according to the popular belief, if I go, 5/12 of the world population is suffering from marriage problems, that is simply not possible. Then what is the reality behind this Manglik Yog? Remember, Manglik Yog and Manglik Dosh are two different phenomena. Manglik Yog is formed by the placement of Mars, that is fine. Manglik Dosh is formed when the same Mars in this placement goes negative as a whole. You have to see a lot of factors to understand whether the Manglik Yog is acting negative or positive. Okay, why Mars placement in these 5 houses are said to be negative for marriage? It's not about the placement of Mars. It's about the aspect of Mars. The first house Mars will have a 7th aspect on marriage, 7th house. Therefore, it's a direct aspect on the house of marriage. Mars is a military general. He wants to take control. So when a general is seeing a property or a field, he wants to destroy, he wants to wage a war, he wants to control. He has an authoritarian nature over that, so he wants to conquer the 7th house, which makes a person dominating in nature, and therefore he wants to dominate the 7th house. If done in a positive way, it can show passionate love. If done in a negative way, it shows negative dominance. Therefore, the 7th aspect of Mars on the 7th house forms a Manglik Dosh, only in certain cases. From the 4th house, Mars as 4th aspect falls on the 7th house. Therefore, the aspect again comes into picture. Manglik Yog forms. In the 7th house, if Mars is placed, definitely that is a formation of Manglik Yog. In 8th house, Mars is 2nd from 7th, so the gains of marriage is being hindered by the Mars. It's like a naval blockade, military blockade, and the supplies are being cut off. When Mars goes into the 12th house, the 8th aspect of Mars falls on the 7th house, and 8th aspect of Mars is said to be the house aspect of death. It's a very dangerous aspect, and therefore the position of 8th Mars and the 12th Mars is the only placement out of these 5 placements where the worry is slightly more, but again it can be nullified by hundreds of reasons. So don't need to, first of all, if you find a Mars is placed there, do not try to conclude that you are going to be Manglik, because if you walk in the street, every second person you meet can be Manglik. Also, what I see is that the same Yog can be observed using moon. That means a person is said to be Manglik if 1, 4, 7, 8 and 12 placement is formed from the moon, therefore making 10 out of 12 horoscopes Manglik, and therefore almost everybody in the world is Manglik. Again, as I said, Manglik Yog and Manglik Dosh are two different things. They work at a different formation. Manglik Yog may not do anything at all, but Manglik Dosh can create some sort of trouble. So what will this Manglik Yog or presence of the Mars in these 5 houses will do? Because the presence of Mars in these 5 houses are aspecting the 7th house and the presence of Mars in the 8th house, what it is going to do is it is going to create a passion towards marriage. And it is making you passionate towards your partner, because Mars is the energy and he is delivering that energy in the houses he aspects. So he wants to transfer that energy to that house, and in order to transfer that energy, the person must be well capable to receive that energy. If a wrestler marries a wrestler, it's like a Manglik Yog marrying a Manglik Yog. But if a wrestler marries a non-wrestler, marriage does not mean that the wrestler is going to wrestle with the wife at home. No. So there is no fear about marrying a Manglik person, marrying a non-Manglik person. That is absolutely okay. Manglik Yog makes you a bit short-tempered. It increases your aggression. That is where your nature has to be checked. So if you are trying to find out a match, and you find this Manglik Yog things which I see in all of the marriage portals. Wherever you go, the talk of Manglik Yog is always there. Whenever the talk of marriage comes into picture, a lot of people, when goes into arranged marriage, they will consult, hey, I want a Manglik match only, and they don't even have any idea what they're talking. They just saw somewhere that it is Manglik, so they want a Manglik match, and they don't even know whether the foundation of their concept is because of a professional advice or it is just like that. Now in that case, if the aggression of the person is positive, if the person is passionate enough, then a Manglik formed Manglik Yog person is going to be a best lover, best husband, best wife, best life partner, because the passion towards marriage, passion towards love, passion towards physical connection is going to be very high. If the Mars becomes negative, then only, which is also in a very certain and rare cases, the Manglik Yog can create trouble in marriage and sometimes death of the partner. Not that somebody is going to die just like out of thin air. Remember, you are not going to die if it is not written in your horoscope. So Manglik Yog cancels out because of certain reasons. This is stated in different kind of textbooks. Now, can you tell me, if a person is aggressive in nature, how will this aggression go away? Because if the person's Mars is in Aries, it is said that Manglik Yog is getting cancelled. But in reality, the Yog will never get cancelled. It will get positive. It will get optimistic. The Yog can be modified to be used. It's like switching off the electricity. That cannot be done. If electricity is running, it has to be properly channelized in proper wires. The wires has to be properly insulated. You don't try to cut out the wire. You try to utilize the electricity. So you don't even try to cancel the Yog. Try to utilize it properly. So when you are looking for marriage, and if you find a Manglik match, whether it's a boy or a girl, and you think you are a Manglik and you know that you are an aggressive person, understand that the person in front of you is also going to be equally more or less aggressive. So you have to understand the nature. You don't need to be scared of marrying a non-Manglik or a non-Manglik marrying a Manglik. Understand the nature of the person. If the nature of the person is compatible, everything is fine. A holistic reading of the horoscope has to be done and a proper match has to be done. And if that match is coming out positive, you can definitely go ahead. A Manglik partner is the best life partner that you can have. In today's world, we marry probably after 25, 30, sometimes people marry at 35. This is enough of a maturity. So when Mars is young energy, it's youthfulness. And it's also insecurity, it's the fighting tendency, it's the capability to quarrel, but it is immaturity. With age, as the age progresses, Manglik Yog, if you have any, will go down. Because more and more your maturity will come, the more and more understanding of this Mars will come, you will understand your nature more and you are going to change completely. But if your Mars is negative, you have to tone down that Mars, you have to make it more positive. You have to reduce the energy of this Mars and try to channelize. Watch your nature, rectify your nature. This is the only remedy for a Manglik person. If you are Manglik, you are lucky that you are Manglik. And if you have this Manglik Yog, try to be positive, try to meditate, try to reduce that energy. The best way that you can do is join a sport, play a sport, do some physical activity, reduce the mental stress and stop getting angry at everything. So why in the early ages it was said that a Manglik person has to marry a Manglik person? Because nowadays we get married at the age of 35, sometimes we get married at the age of 25, but more or less the age of marriage is shifting towards the older ages, which is making more and more matured people going into marriage. And if maturity comes into picture, you are in a better position to understand your life partner. And if you understand your life partner, Mars is not going to create any sort of trouble. But in the early ages, people used to marry at a very young age. Now when you suppose two people who are around the 17 or 19 years of age, you make them married, when they are growing, Mars gets active somewhere around 21 to 24 years of age. In the prime youth, if the Manglik Yog is really bad, the person with a stronger Manglik Yog can dominate the person with the weaker Manglik Yog, but in a very young age. And that can be torturous, that can be very troublesome for the person who is the weaker one, maybe a boy or a girl. That can ruin the marriage, that can create crimes and scenes, that can do anything which is negative. So that is why previously it was advised, but nowadays it is not like that. We understand the institute of marriage, yet there are people who will commit mistakes, and for them it is advised that if you find a Manglik Yog in your horoscope, you have to calm down. Now, the remedy of Manglik Yog, as I said and as I explained, is going to be when you will have to understand your own nature. You have to accept that you should not get angry, you have to be very polite, you have to be humble, you have to learn to bow yourself down, and you have to be very, very, very accepting and willing to change your nature. Then only the Manglik Yog can be reduced. And always, always, always remember, just by a mere placement of Mars, your life is never going to get ruined. If you have Manglik Yog, you are lucky. You must enjoy. You must live the life thoroughly because you are full of energy. You are full of youthfulness. All you need to do is be a person who is a better listener and who understands people well. Thank you. That was my analysis on Manglik Yog. If you like this and if you want more of such content, do comment in and hit the subscribe button, because it's the subscription that keeps you and me stay connected. So subscribe, guys, subscribe and stay connected, and do like and subscribe and hit the bell icon and share this video among family and friends. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching Punneit Astrology. Signing off.